Hey, what's up, street gods? This is Eric Kim from the Eric Kim blog. I want to share a personal story. So, I had a pretty fucked up childhood. And I think in life you could actually learn more from your anti-role models than your role models, which means learning from people who you do not want to emulate when you grow up. So, for example, that was my dad. Picture this. Since I was 2 years old, never had a job, all he would do is stay home, watch TV, watch films, read books, and was essentially a leech / parasite to my mom, my entire family, until, thank God, my mom finally divorced him when I was around 16 years old. So let me just tell you guys some stories. So I had to cut him out totally from my life because he was just this toxic poison, dark cloud that was emotionally blackmailing me. And like, maybe the best way I could describe this, so imagine you have like a white shirt. He was like the black ink that just spilled all over my white shirt. And the more time I spent talking with him, thinking about him, trying to help him, the more and more that deep dark ink just ruined my clean, pure white heart and soul. So even for example, before Cindy and I got married, we intentionally did not invite him and actually most of the dad side of the family to the wedding. And the reason why I had to decide to do this, and it was a really fucking hard decision, was I knew if he came to the wedding, he would just fuck shit up. And I think philosophically speaking, getting rid of one spoiled egg is going to protect the whole bunch, or the saying, one rotten apple spoils the whole bunch, and it's totally true. So I think even in life, rather than trying to add positive role models to your life, it's actually better to just subtract negative people from your life. And so like, even like, I don't have kids yet, but this is sound parenting advice, is that don't worry whether your kids have good friends or not, or good positive influences or role models. Just make sure they stay away from bad kids in school or bad influences. Anyways, so going back to my personal life story, I kind of grew up with this Korean, Asian, Confucian culture where it's always respect your parents, always respect your parents no matter what, because parents always know what's best, blah, 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 blah. And what I actually discovered was that is bullshit. Because oftentimes your parents actually don't know what's best for you. They think they know what's best for you, and depends on the parent. Many parents, some parents, try to do what's best for their children. But depending on your life situation, honestly, some parents just don't give a fuck about their kids. Like, I remember I had a friend, his parents had said like, oh, you're an accident. How can you live a normal life after your parents have told you you're an accident? You don't even feel like you have a reason to live. Anyways, the way I cut him out of my life, first things first, and thank you to all the people who emotionally supported me, especially my mom and Cindy. So I just blocked his phone number, blocked his text messages, and I made a filter in Gmail where all the emails that he would send me from his address, it would just automatically delete it or flag it or whatever. Also, I had to unfortunately cut ties with my older aunt who was taking care of my dad, because she would always be calling me. And essentially, and you know, I love my aunt and my uncle, they're both saints for dealing with my dad's shit. But if you have a leech on your skin, you don't want that leech to keep sucking your blood. You have to fucking kill the leech, or at least remove it from your body. And the biggest fear that I had was, and even now, is that my dad would maybe one day commit suicide. I don't know, leave a note and say it was my fault. So that's probably actually my biggest fear. And one philosophical thing that I've been doing a lot to help me get over my personal issues or whatever is ask yourself the question why, 5 times or however many times. You can ask yourself why like 10, 20 times. So even asking myself, like, why do I feel so bad cutting my dad out from my life was, I felt bad because I felt that I had to be his savior, and I feel like I had to, follow in the steps of Jesus and, turn the other cheek, blah, 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 blah. And regardless of what he would do or say to me, that I had to keep trying to help him. But there's a lot of things about Christian morality which I don't like. That's like one of them. Unfortunately, I think in life, there are certain people who are just lost causes, and you just kind of had to cut them out of your life for the sake of your personal health, for the sake of your kids, for the sake of your partner, your friends, your family. Because think about it this way, is that like, if you're selfish and self-centered like I am, if you put yourself in a good mental zone, you will ensure that all your friends and family will also be in a positive. Because think about it this way, if you have abusive parents and you still keep in contact with them, that's gonna fuck up your entire family. It's gonna fuck up all your personal relationships. It's gonna fuck up, your relationships at work, school, whatever. And that's just gonna put negative vibes on everybody. And so the reason why I'm making this video is I just want to share my personal life story and make myself a little bit vulnerable. So hopefully if you're dealing with abusive parents, either physically or mentally, I think, to be frank, mental abuse, I think is far, 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 far worse than physical abuse because, so my dad actually physically abused my mom and mentally abused my mom. I have this very fucking scary ass moment where, I remember my dad grabbing my mom by the hair, my mom's thick curly hair, and slamming her head against the kitchen counter. And then, I don't remember if there was blood or not, but anyways, and then just dragging her on the floor by her hair and her head. And of course saying all these obscenities and just forcing her to make him get the rent money so he could go drive to Reno and gamble away her rent money, which actually caused my mom to become bankrupt and kind of fucked up for a long time my conception of money. I always thought that money was the root of all evil because my parents had so many issues with money because my dad was a chronic gambler. That's why I personally don't gamble more than $300 when I go to Vegas. I still like to play Texas Hold'em, but I'll never fucking gamble and, of course, put a finger on Cindy or say any negative shit to nobody. So I still think my dad deserves compassion because I'm a humanist. And to be frank, I've forgiven my dad, and I don't, even though I'm saying all this like stuff, I don't actually harbor any resentment for him, but rather I'm very grateful that I was raised in this situation, is that I could actually help uplift, motivate other people dealing with this shit. So friend, if you have a negative influence in your life, that'd be I don't know, a parent, an abusive partner, abusive boss. I mean, like anybody who's abusive in your life, just kind of know that it's really hard, it's really fucking scary to cut them out of your lives. But if you don't fear social ridicule, you don't fear pain, and also if you don't fear death, you're gonna be okay. And trust me, it's really fucking hard, but yeah, I believe in you. You could do this. If I could do it, you could too. You don't deserve that pain, nor do any of your loved ones. So be a strong friend.